Hi there and welcome along to another workout for you to row along to. Now I've been quite big-headed today and I've called this one the perfect workout. Now what makes this the perfect workout? Well, it's because it's a catch-all for everybody. No matter whether you're an experienced rower or a beginner, this workout is going to be perfect for you. Why? Well, what we're going to do is 20 times 2 minutes and we're going to take 30 seconds rest in between. Doesn't sound like much, does it? But what we're going to do is the first one of those 2 minutes is going to be at 20 strokes per minute and the next one is going to be at 28 strokes per minute. Now for the beginner rower, there's a good chance that you probably naturally row one of those stroke rates. You're either going to be quite slow or you're going to be quite fast. So one of them is going to be in your comfort zone and the other one you'll have to maybe work a little bit to try and hit that rate. But for the more experienced rower, then this is when you get a chance to really alternate the intensities between the bottom tier 20 strokes per minute at 2k plus 18 pace and then the closer up near the top tier, certainly mid tier anyway, 28 strokes a minute at 2k plus 5. Now don't worry if you're a beginner rower and you're like, what's he talking about, 2k plus what? Really what I want you to do is the 20 strokes a minute is you take it relatively gentle, run about 5 out of 10 effort, so you're making sure to still connect with your legs and arms. But then the 28 strokes a minute, I want you to put in a good amount of speed, okay? You're kind of getting up to 8, 9, maybe even 10 out of 10 effort by the time we get to the end of this. But the big thing is that for the beginner rower, don't think you have to row this entire workout, okay? Just get as far as you can into it. So you're only rowing for 2 minutes and then you get a slight break, then another 2 minutes and a slight break. And you can even sit out an entire interval if you want, if you're starting to feel tired but you don't want to completely stop. It's up to you. So this is really your first taster at putting in a little bit more intensity and a structured row into the machine rather than just sitting down and rowing and thinking, I don't know what I'm doing. So this is the perfect beginner workout. But like I say, it's also the perfect workout for an experienced rower because of this up and down intensity. Right, I've spoken way too long. I should really just have told you all this stuff during the main workout, but I wanted to make sure that you knew it now. But we're going to start off with a 4-minute warm-up, okay? Now we're going to do this at around about 18 strokes per minute and it's going to be a nice, gentle, easy start to it. So don't worry too much about this 4 minutes. First thing we need to do is set up our machine. So go to your drag factor first, which is this lever on the side. If you don't know anything about drag factor, then please do check out the video I have on the YouTube channel. Next up, go to your monitor and set it at eye height if you can. Obviously, some rowing machines have the monitor down there, in which case you're kind of out of luck, I'm afraid. And then finally, your foot straps, set them at a height that they either cover the bottom lace on your shoe, or if you're in socks like me anyway, they make sure that you are comfortably hinging forwards at the front, okay? So really what you want to do is be able to slide forward enough that your shins are getting to a vertical position. If your foot straps are too high, then you might not be able to quite get there. If they're too low, you might go way past that. So just try and get that vertical position. Bit of a top-loaded intro today because I wanted to really kind of explain the thing about why this is the perfect workout. So we'll get into our warm-up now. Like I say, 18 strokes a minute in 3, 2, 1, go. So gentle start, especially for this first minute. Just ease into it if you need to. If you're nice and warm that you had a busy day or whatever, then you can start this at around about 2k plus 20 pace if you wish. Otherwise, just ease yourself into it. Like I said in the intro, don't worry about the 2k plus pace if you're a beginner rower. Really all it refers to is the average pace to row a 2,000 meter time trial. And you use that as a way to attenuate your training paces. There's a big blurb at the bottom of the description on this YouTube video. So you can read about that or on my website. Or just search the internet really. There's lots of info about it. So we're a minute into this. You can just increase the pace a little bit if you're not already at round about 2k plus 20 pace. And the point here is to just try and warm up. Our first interval is at 20 strokes a minute, 2k plus 18 anyway, so you're not going to be too intense as you start the workout, but I still want you to be nice and warm. So As we hit the 2-minute mark, we go into single leg drills. So when you take one foot and put it on the floor. So what I want you to do is after this stroke here, take both feet out of the straps and put one on the floor. So one foot's on the floor, one's just resting on the foot strap, but not actually in the strap. And you just continue rowing. Because you've got that one foot on the floor, I'm hoping you're not going to be falling off the back of the machine. But do be careful, please don't fall off the back of the machine. Let's swap feet. So this is a good introduction to strapless rowing. You're not quite at the kind of the danger zone of both feet out the straps and rowing normally, because this one foot on the ground gives you a bit more stability. Okay, one more stroke. And now what I want you to do is just put the other foot, rest it on, legs straight, and then just row with your back and arms. So your feet are still out the straps, but you're just using your back and arms to row. So you shouldn't really have the momentum that's going to fire you off the back of the machine. But that said, do be careful. And if you do find yourself off balance at the back, put your feet back in the straps. One more. Now let's go to the front, straight arms, and just press out from the front. Not so far that you come flying out the foot straps. Again, if you feel like you are, then put your feet back in again. Because you're just keeping this forward lean and just pressing out the front, hitting that catch on the flywheel. One more. Slight change to the warm up there, trying the feet out. Not entirely sure about that one at the front. Maybe a little bit unstable if you're not used to it. So yeah, so maybe if I try that again, I might suggest putting your feet back into the straps at that stage. Might even add that in the description, just as a kind of or even put it up on screen or something. Anyway, you should be nice and warm by now. Have a drink, keep on sliding up and down the rail, and I'll explain one more time what it is we're doing today. Okay then, so the hoodie's off and we're ready to go. What we're doing today is 20 times 2 minutes on and 30 seconds off. And you're going to alternate those 2-minute intervals between 20 strokes per minute and 28 strokes per minute. Now, if you're doing this from a 2K based pace point of view, then your 20 strokes a minute will be at your 2K pace plus 18 seconds. And the 28 strokes a minute will be at 2K plus 5. Now, if you've got no idea what that is and you just want to talk about an effort level, then you're looking at the 20 strokes a minute at around about 5 or 6 out of 10. And you're looking at the 28 strokes a minute at probably 8, 9, 10 out of 10. Okay, it's just going to, as we get through this workout, it'll get tougher and tougher. Now, bear in mind that sitting on the couch, watching television and eating a bag of crisps is 1 out of 10. So 5 out of 10 still means that you're making a good amount of effort into the machine, that you're connecting with the legs and arms, but you're still able to talk and all that kind of stuff, and you're not absolutely at the end of your tether. That's what's going to be happening on the 28 strokes a minute, okay? Now, like I say, this is going to be a perfect one for either experienced rowers or for new rowers. If you feel you have to stop as a newer rower and take a rest for one of the intervals, then please do, okay? You know how far you can go through this. Maybe you can only get 10 intervals through today. Come back another time, see if you can get 11 or 12 intervals through the next time, okay? Anyway, I can talk to you more about this stuff when we actually get into the row and in rest period, so we might as well just start rowing together. So, our first 2-minute one is at 20 strokes per minute and run about 2K plus 18 pace. You ready for this? Let's go. In 3, 2, 1, go. So, stroke rate, just follow me either in the video or if you're doing this on the podcast, just the sound of the flywheel and the kind of the pattern of my speech is also a good way to follow. So we're at 2K plus 18 pace. So my average time right now for a 2K is 1 minute 45 per 500 meters. So what I want to see on screen is 2:03, which I'm kind of jumping back and forward between 2:01, 2:04. So I'm kind of there. Don't want to overcook it here. The point of these low rate 20 strokes a minute intervals is to give you a chance to work on your technique, which we'll talk about during today's row, and just take your time and then work on your core fitness, building up the muscle system and refine the oxygen transportation, big words for me, in your blood. Okay, 30 seconds to go on this one. A nice easy start. You shouldn't even feel like you need the rest that's going to happen, but let's take it anyway. Make sure we're nice and prepared for the next interval that's coming up, which will be a lot faster. Okay, last stroke here. There we go. So just 30 seconds rest. Keep moving. Don't just stop still. It's important to hydrate through these, certainly when we get further through the row. It's important that you have something to drink in these rest intervals. Okay, so we're going to go to the next one in 10 seconds. So it's 28 strokes a minute and a lot faster at 2K plus 5 pace. 3, 2, 1, go. So really, even if you don't work on a 2K plus whatever pace, you should be going at least 10 seconds faster for your pace on this one. Preferably 13 in order to make it 2K plus 5. And even if you're doing this on a effort level, then hopefully these first two intervals will be giving you the pace that you need to row the rest of the row at. I'm stubbornly at 27 strokes a minute right now. There we go, 28. So these higher stroke rates, if you're having difficulty getting up to 28, just think about the speed that you're releasing the handle at. So you pull in, but then send it straight back out again. Don't pause at the back of the stroke, which is usually the problem with people who can't row at higher stroke rates. All right, coming to a close on this one. Only 3 more strokes. 1 more. There we go. A bit more fast and furious on that one, wasn't it? So then we use this 30-second rest to just recover a little bit. But then the next one's back to being slow again anyway. So that'll be like an active recovery. Okay, 10 seconds to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. So again, 20 strokes a minute, 2K plus 18. Try and get to your pace as quickly as possible. Although it did take me about 5 strokes to get there just then, but hey, Do as I say, not what I do. So there we go. So hopefully you've got an idea of what this workout's going to be like. These two paces and stroke rates are matched together to kind of reinforce each other. And as being I'm recording this one on Valentine's Day, it's quite nice that it's the perfect match. Of course, quite why I'm in here recording a rowing video on Valentine's Day instead of spending time just sitting at next to my wife telling her how beautiful and incredible she is. I'll tell her that after the row. Okay, 10 seconds to go. Sorry, 10 strokes to go. Sorry, too busy. I was blinded by love. Couldn't do maths. Too busy thinking about my amazing wife. Three more strokes to go. Last one coming up. There you go. So like I say, that's like an active recovery. You still have to put some pressure in, but it gives you a chance to recover from the last 28. And hopefully it means that the newer rowers, because we're breaking this into little bite-sized chunks, you're not feeling like this is a huge long row. 10 seconds to go. Back up to 28 strokes a minute on this one. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. So, not really talked about technique, but then I've given you a chance to get nice and warm and used to what you're doing before I start throwing zombies and carrots at you. Don't worry, that'll make sense in a minute, or through this row anyway. What I want you to think about primarily right now is your back swinging from a 1 o'clock lean in at the front of the machine and then into an 11 o'clock lean back at the back of the machine. Try not to go past those angles at either end. You don't want to overlean at the front, and you don't want to over lay back at the back. And the important part is that you're swinging backwards and forwards, pivoting over your hips. You're not crumpling your lower back or rounding your upper back. You're swinging backwards, forwards, over your hips. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so you're pivoting backwards and forwards, not that wouldn't have made much sense to you podcast folks. Just imagine an armadillo rowing. Right, 10 seconds to go. And we're back into 20 strokes a minute again. 3, 2, 1, go. So that 30 seconds is going to feel as though it gets shorter and shorter as this workout goes on. Whereas the first rest felt nice and long and luxurious, pretty soon you'll be asking for more. So while we're in this low rate, really concentrate on that forward lean and then hold it as you start the drive. And then when you're about halfway through your stroke, that's when you swing it, okay? Really try and think about that. Whether you're a new or experienced rower, just try and pay attention to how long you're staying in that forwards lean position. The longer you can stay up until round about the halfway point of the leg drive, the better in terms of energy transfer. Means it's all legs until the halfway point, and then you add in your back and your arms as your legs tail off. Okay, 3, 2, 1. There we go. Remember to have a drink. Now, if you need to, if your bum's starting to go to sleep, then in these 30-second intervals, just have a wriggle, maybe even unstrap and get out of off the seat. Okay, 5 seconds to go. I'm going up to 28 strokes a minute. In 2, 1, go. Told you they'd come round really quick. All right, so we have been concentrating on our upper body swinging backwards and forwards. Now, I want you to really concentrate on your leg drive. So, come into the front, and then it's all about the legs. That you're pushing, push that machine away from you. I know it's sending you backwards, but if you can think about pushing with your legs, it'll make a huge difference in terms of your power as you start that drive. Because the stroke starts with just legs. Okay? This isn't a pulling motion until you get halfway through your stroke. So at the front, just think about legs. Try and avoid the habit of pulling right at the start. There we go. So you drive, swing, pull. So it's only towards the back end that you really do pull. Okay, back down to 20 strokes a minute in 10 seconds. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. So the key about that pulling thing is to make sure that your arms are nice and straight as you start the leg drive. So nice and straight and relaxed as you come in, and then as you connect with your legs to drive, pushing the machine away from you, you keep those arms nice and straight. You'll have to brace against the power from your legs, but because of your forward body lean, it should be simple enough to just let that power flow up through your body and into your arms and into the handle, and you won't have to feel like you're pulling at the front. You're just hanging off the handle, braced against the power, letting it flow into the flywheel. And that's a really, really fundamental and often counterintuitive part of the stroke. It's for it to be coming legs with straight arms, and that you're not pulling. Now, 2, 1 more, 1. The pulling action happens at the end. You still need to pull, but not from the front. It's from the back of the stroke. That's why I don't like using the push, don't pull phrase anymore, because you still have to pull, and saying don't pull kind of puts people off from pulling. Okay, 8, 7. Remember, 28 strokes a minute again. 4, 3, 2, 1. Go. So, go into the front, arms straight, forward lean, and then push the machine away with those straight arms. And it's only at that halfway point, as you swing, oh, just lost my seat, swing your back, that you then pull the handle into your chest. So the start of the stroke is definitely push, don't pull, but the back of the stroke, I want you to finish with a strong, powerful pull in of the handle. Up into runabout sternum height. Don't dump the handle down into your stomach. Nice and straight line from the front of the machine. And then send those elbows through your sides and squeeze your shoulder blades together to get a good, powerful finish. All right. 3 more. Last one. Good job. I hope you're hanging in there, whether you're an experienced rower or a beginner. I hope this is working out well for you. I hope I'm just keeping you company as you're rowing along with me. 10 seconds to go. We're back down to 20 strokes a minute in 4, 3, 2, 1, go. I do want you to try to keep that original pace on these intervals. So whatever speed you rode the first one at, I want you to still be rowing at that pace now. It's the same with the 28s. Once you've locked in your pace, be it a 2K training pace or an effort level one, the point is to maintain that through the row. So even when these intervals that started off as 5 out of 10 effort, even if that's now increased to 7 out of 10 in order to hold the same pace, I want you to do that. You only back off pace if you really don't think you can continue, but you don't want to stop. Then you can ease off a couple of seconds for a couple of intervals, and then see if you can regain your original pace after you've had those breathers. That said, I'm cooking this a bit too fast right now. All right, 2 more, 1 more. So that's 9. So this next 28 strokes a minute interval we'll put is at the halfway point, at the Bon Jovi point. Whoa, we're halfway there. Just in case you hadn't heard that joke from me before. Okay, 10 seconds to go. Get ready for this. 6, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. I mentioned, was it in the first time we did these 28s, about getting the handle away from you in order to make sure you can increase your stroke rate. The point being that you want to get the handle away, nice straight arms, as you rock your body forwards, so that momentum is what carries you forwards to the front of the machine. And what you're trying to do is make sure your hands go past your knees before you bend them, okay? Otherwise, if you find that you're having to lift the handle over your knees, you're not doing it right. So, handle away, knees. And that all helps with your posture when it comes to that body rock from 1 o'clock to 11. Because you'll find the slightest failure in posture can really cost you pace-wise. 2 more, 1 more. Whew. Halfway there, and it's definitely up at what I'd call a mid-tier workout, where it's starting to get tough to hold on to those 28 strokes a minute intervals. 10 seconds to go until the next 20 strokes a minute interval. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. But like I said, these 20 strokes a minute intervals do act as a nice active recovery to offset those more sprintier feeling 28 strokes a minute. So do make sure to row these still with the same power. Don't cheat yourself. Unless, of course, you're a new rower and you're just needing to take a breather. That's fine. Whatever keeps you on the machine. The point of this row is to kind of expose you to slightly longer duration than just loading up a 10-minute row and then stopping and going, all right, is that it? It's like I say, if you hang around for this entire session or this part of the workout, it's 40 minutes worth of rowing you're doing. Then add on the 4-minute warm up and a 2-minute cool down, and that's you past 45 minutes worth of rowing. If you do it all, that is. One more. Oh. It's also a great workout to come to if you've been off the machine for a few days. So due to work commitments, I've gone, 4 days without rowing, and I can feel it, that kind of rustiness in my body. 10 seconds to go. But with each interval, I can feel that rustiness breaking up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 28, go. I'm able to get back into the rhythm, try and work on the timing of my technique, because the point is, as you drive, pushing the machine away with your feet, what you're trying to do is connect the handle to the flywheel at exactly the same time, so that that power from your legs all goes into the flywheel. If you connect your feet too early, what happens is that your butt scoots out first, leaving your back and arms kind of in no man's land, trying to make up pace. And if you pull with your arms first and you don't connect with your feet, you're just spilling power all over the place. So try to get your feet down, pushing on the foot plates right as you feel the handle connecting with the flywheel. Three to go. Last one. Good job. Ooh, I can tell I've not been rowing for a while. My ring fingers kind of, I don't know what you call it, just feels stiff. It's the tendons around my knuckle. Ooh. 10 seconds to go, and we're back down to 20 strokes a minute again. 3, 2, 1, go. Now, that timing for the connection at the front, a lot of that is to do with your body angle, making sure your arms are straight and relaxed, and you've got that forward lean which then means that push, you're instantly connecting with the flywheel. I mean, if you can't get your arms straight and relaxed, I want you to pretend you're a zombie. Okay, so zombies have their arms out in front of them. Nice and relaxed. Don't see a tense zombie, do you? You still need your hands to be holding on to the handle with your fingers hooked over the handle, not a death grip, please, but nice relaxed arms. If you can see your muscles popping out your arms on the recovery, then you're way too tense. That's not the point. You want to be loose and floppy, like a super relaxed zombie. And then only as you connect do you brace. Remember, I don't say tense, you brace against the power with your arms. All right, one more. So at no point are you ever like holding on for dear life. You just brace against it and hang off the handle and then pull in at the end. Everything should be smooth and flowing, like Tai Chi almost. 10 seconds until the next 28 strokes a minute. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Now round about now is usually when fatigue wants to start knocking at your door. And that's okay. We're almost 3/4 of the way through this workout, so you're allowed to start feeling it a bit more. But what I don't want is for your technique to suffer as fatigue sets in, which is the most dangerous point. So do concentrate on that forward lean and then the backward lean. Think about pushing out with your legs and then make sure to get that handle past your knees before you bend them, to make sure to set up the correct posture and body angle for the start of the next stroke. Don't worry about all the small things in the next interval, but right now, body swing, legs and hands over knees is all you need to concentrate on. 3, 2, 1. Oh, I'm starting to slip a bit pace-wise. It is funny how just a few days of not rowing, even though I've been cycling and walking and things, rowing is rowing. If you want to get better at rowing, row. Okay, 6 seconds, back to 20 strokes a minute in 3, 2, 1, go. Can also tell it's been a while since I made one of these videos because my voice is starting to go, because this is the longest I've spoken for in like a week. Not that I don't talk to my wife and kids, but I usually stop to let them talk back to me, whereas right now I'm involved in a very one-sided conversation with you, which is cool. I'm just here as your rowing companion, keeping you company while we do this together. And fair enough, I know I'm talking about technique and all that jazz, but really, I'm just here to help you get through a session that you otherwise might not have even considered doing. I'd have to hope that as we get to the closing stages of interval, what's this, 16? Is that right? Or is it 15? 15. That you'll agree that this is the perfect workout. All right, 2 more. Right, with any luck, if you've got heart rate monitor on, and you come back and look at this afterwards, you'll see this great kind of variation in hills to your heart rate as you come in and out of both of these intervals and then the rest periods. Terrifically good for you. 10 seconds to go until the next 28 strokes per minute. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Because I can feel from these intervals my cardio system is definitely getting a good old workout, and then in the 20 strokes a minute intervals, off the back of the power I'm putting in on these ones, I'm getting a fantastic workout through my quads, to the point that I do get the feeling that tomorrow, having not rowed for a while, tomorrow I'm going to wake up with the dreaded DOMs. Dom, dom, dom. Delay, onset, muscle soreness. That's when your muscles hurt the day after you've exercised. I can just feel the outer parts of both quads starting to sing a little bit, and that's good. It's the point of this workout, is to build fitness at low rate and power and the ability to sustain at a higher rate and faster pace. 3, 2, 1. Oh. Ooh, right there. It does make a huge difference not rowing. Like I said, rowing and cycling, fantastic, good for me. Sorry, walking and cycling, but not as good as rowing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 20 strokes a minute. Oh, that was a poor start. Went completely against all of my stroke technique teachings. I started that very first stroke in a kind of a backward lean. And the two reasons not to do that are power efficiency, that if you are already leaning back when you start the leg drive, you're missing out on the extra power that swing of your back gives you, because that adds in a fair old oomph to your stroke. But the other thing is that if you are driving hard in a backward facing lean from the beginning, you can basically send all of that power right down to your lower back and end up injured. So if you've ever been on the machine and come off with a sore back, there's a really good chance that the prime culprit is that you're leaning back way too soon before you engage that leg drive. All right, 3, 2, one more, 1. Ooh, this finger's getting sore. Could be worse, could be the middle finger. I might be making rude gestures at you. Okay, 3 more intervals to go. Next one is a 28. Ooh. In 10 seconds. So I lost the ability to speak there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. So just remember, get a good rhythm, especially at these faster rates. If you're used to rowing at this kind of a stroke rate, still make sure you're doing it with a nice flow to your stroke. So a nice long drive. Use all of your legs. Get it all into the machine. Don't stop short and have to stop yourself by bracing against the foot straps. Get all of the power out of your legs and then finish with your back and arms a fraction of a second afterwards. But then keep that flow going. The moment the handle touches your sternum, send it straight back out again to start your recovery. And then the moment you get in to the front of the machine, drive straight back out again. Flow from phase to phase. Don't pause at any point. 2, 1, one more. Not quite. There is specific drills where you drive and finish, and then you analyze, and then you return, or you return, analyze, and then drive. But your main rowing stroke should be a flow, backwards and forwards. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 20 strokes a minute. Last one. Oh. I'm looking forward to the end of this and then the 28s. It's been a good perfect workout. Another one to return to if ever you're a little bit stuck for what to do that day. Because well, let's call it a rest. The 30-second rest and then simpler row in these intervals doesn't make this workout feel quite as daunting. And then you can come back and maybe next time see if you can go faster on the 28s. Don't go faster on the 20s. Keep them around about 2k plus 18 to get that engine building, fuel refining value out of this part of the row. But the 28s can fill your boots. Go as fast as you're able to while still completing the row. So if you have to stop because you're going too fast, that's not the point. 2, last one. Especially if you're a beginner rower, what you want to do is work up to being able to complete the entire session first before looking to go any faster on those 28s, okay? Because there's a fitness base that you're building as you go further and further through this that will then support you when you're going fast. Okay, in 5 seconds, our last 28. 2, 1, go. See if we can finish nice and strong. Get that shove of the machine at the front. Make sure, like I said in the warm-up, try not to get your shins past that vertical position, but do endeavour at least to get them to that vertical position. Bit late in the day, really, to be saying that, but I did say it right at the start. So, and between your body angle and how far you slide the seat, that's what affects it, as well as your posture. Just be up, swinging over your hips so that you're up in your sit bones. Whoa, I've slowed right down. Come on, John. Almost there. Remember to finish strong with a pull of the handle. So push, pull, push, pull. It's like Ben-Hur. Just think push, pull, and see your pace increase as a result. Okay, almost there. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. Whew. Well done, you. I was definitely right up there at the top end of the mid-tier workouts towards the end, which is exactly how it's meant to be. Didn't feel I had to stop at any point, but certainly felt that had they all had that last one being like a 3-minute interval, I would have been like, oh no. Right, should we get into a 2-minute cool down? Oh, that was fun. Right, 3, 2, 1, go. So much like the warm up, just around about 18 strokes a minute, and just a nice gentle pace where you're just connecting with the legs and arms. So, an effort point of view, probably about 3 or 4 out of 10. Pace, probably around about 2k plus 30. So basically, just think maybe around about 15 seconds slower than you were rowing the 20 strokes a minute intervals at. So I hope that you agreed with me that that was the perfect workout. Like I say, it's one that if you're new, you might get the value out of by coming back to it and trying to get further and further and further through it. If you're experienced, it will be about pushing the pace on the 28s. It's giving you that engine building foundation fitness with the 20 strokes a minute, and then the power, speed and exposure to intensity basically for those 2 minutes of 28 where you're working hard, but because it's only 2 minutes that you're working hard for, you know you can complete it because you're about to get rest. So a great workout to keep on coming back to. Maybe save this one to your favorites. Oh. Okay, so 2 more strokes for me. You can carry on rowing until the end of the video if you wish. Just make sure you're nice and cool. Just eases your heart rate to a stop. So hopefully for me the work life will ease off a little bit and I'll be able to make or at least whether I record or not, I could come back to the rowing machine within 4 days. I mean, like I say, it really does show how quickly just that kind of top edge of power and stuff just goes if you're not rowing. So yeah, anyway, this row, it's probably a bit late to say this, should have appeared on ErgZone as one that you can load up, and I'm excited, happy to say we should be working something out with the ErgZone folks that instead of having to load up YouTube on a TV screen and then running ErgZone as an app to control your PM if that's what you want to do, I'm going to embed the videos within the ErgZone app. We tried this before and it kind of worked, but then we pulled it because it didn't work well enough. But we're going to start doing that now. What's going to happen is that all of the sessions that I do are going to end up for free on the ErgZone app. That you can just control your monitor with them, but the ones that are going to have the embedded video, there's going to be some kind of a subscription to it just because of the hosting costs of the video. However, the YouTube version is still always going to be there for free. Okay, I was saying to Wilson today how it's not my intention to monetize RowAlong in any particular way. I don't do this to make money. I do this to try and provide a service and to help people. So I don't want to scare people away by charging for something on ErgZone. So that's why the sessions themselves will still be there for free, but it's just if you want this embedded video option, that there'll be some kind of a fee. We've not worked out what that is yet, and it's really just going to be to cover the hosting costs if nothing else. So it's still a good few weeks away for the video side of it. So like I say, it's always going to be there on YouTube. Don't worry about it. I'm not pulling it from that. I'm not suddenly going, oh, I can make some money out of this. It's not what I'm about. So it's always going to be there on YouTube, but there's also going to be the convenience option of having the video within the ErgZone app eventually as well, I hope. I'll start off by, we'll put the entire 5K plan onto that and then start doing like ad hoc sessions to see how it works. Oh, I got sweat in my eyes. So anyway, that was a bit of an end rant that I probably didn't need to get into, but hey, at least it's you can let me know whether that's something that you're even vaguely interested in, because obviously if you're all like, why would we pay for it? We get it for free. Then there's no point either ErgZone or me going through the process of trying to do it all. So anyway, Long outro time again, of course. I hope you enjoyed it. Do subscribe to the YouTube channel so that you can be notified. If you click the little bell, you should get an email saying that RowAlong has uploaded a new video. And then you'll find out when I put them in. If it's the podcast, then do subscribe, and both options, leave a comment. It's great to hear from you. I make these because I hear from you. I mean, because people reply and say how helpful they've been to their rowing, how it's got them back on the machine, how they like the format and stuff. So this is why I keep making them, is because people watch and comment. So if you keep on watching and commenting, I'll keep on making them. It's as simple as that, really. So today's hashtag, if this is one of your first times with me, then I always end up with a hashtag just for you to prove that you made it all the way through my end rant. I mean, it's your loss. No, hopefully you're still cooling down at this point. Yeah, so I usually give a hashtag for you to then tag on the end, and then I go, oh wow, you did make it to the end. So it's just gonna be a simple one. It's just hashtag the perfect row, because I honestly do think that this, because of its catch-all nature, is the perfect row. It works for everyone from beginner to experienced, and it's something that you can just keep on coming back to. Like I said, you're rowing for over 45 minutes, probably closer to 50 if you've been rowing for this entire outro. But anyway, so there we go, we're all done. Have a great day, please stay safe and be well and stuff. I will see you in the next video, and yeah, I've done all my outros. See ya.